Mark Wilson. Thanks for joining me at Cooking with Wilson. Today, I'm going to do something a little bit different. Stop making the same old stuff and go with something with a little bit different kick to it. Got a poblano pepper, and we're going to stuff this thing with a brisket mixture and some cheese, and top it with some queso to make it even cheesier. And for those of you who have a hard time getting these, because depending on where you live and what time of year it is, it can be very difficult to find these. I'm going to also show you how to do it with a bell pepper. Any color, doesn't matter. Super simple. We're going to get to it.
So we got a pepper split. There's two ways to handling the poblano. One, the preferred method is to take some tongs, put it over a smoking flame, and kind of just char it. You definitely want to make sure you get the biggest parts of the vein off and get all the seeds out of there, and just chop the top off. And then as far as bell peppers, the same thing. Take the biggest part of the vein out, just split these in half, and make sure you wash them off really well. If there's any waxy surface on there, make sure you get that off as well, because some of the produce departments like to put that on. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to boil these very briefly and then put them in the ice bath. We're going to get our water rolling, and then we're going to put our peppers in there and essentially just let them parboil for like 2 to 3 minutes. Get them a little softer. You don't want to cook them the way they are in the smoker, because they really won't be that tender, and that's really what you're looking for. So once we get them boiling for 2 to 3 minutes, and we're going to put them in the ice bath and go from there. Chances are you're not cooking a whole brisket for this recipe, and if you're like me, you're heating up some brisket that you have that you've chopped up. But one thing I like to do is when I heat up brisket, chopped brisket, is add a little bit of butter to it. And so that's what we're doing here. In this case, this is some garlic butter that I made. It gives it extra flavor. And we're just going to put once it melts down, we're going to put the brisket in there briefly and just pull it off the heat. Just want to warm it up a little bit. Definitely don't want to start cooking the brisket. And let it sit off to the side and absorb that fat. We removed them after just like 2 or 3 minutes. Just want to get them softened up a little bit. Definitely don't want to end up with mush. And now we're going to let them sit in this ice bath for about 5 minutes before we get them prepped. We got our onions cooked down just the way we want them. I use garlic butter, otherwise I'd be throwing some garlic in there as well. And now we're just going to take our brisket. It's been soaking up that butter that we melted. Get it all mixed in there. Get it heated up, get it moved around. And then from there, we'll start scooping this in. And if you don't have a really good seasoned brisket, that's okay. Just take some brisket rub and put on there, along with some salt and pepper, to get it really seasoned up really well. If you do have a great seasoned brisket, you don't need to add anything else to it. If you follow that bourbon brisket recipe, whether you use bourbon or whether you used pickle juice, you'll be good to go, because it's already seasoned extremely well. And the aroma's coming off this thing, man, awesome. At this point, I'm going to take our mixture here, and we're just going to slowly start filling these things in. Just like that. Eventually, we're going to be finished with these, and we're going to take them down to the smoker, which has already been going at 275. Cook them for 30 minutes like this. And after half an hour, we'll add the cheese. We'll get them going for another 30 minutes so that's nice and melted. And then it'll be fine dining after that, right there. Got our peppers out here on the tray. Just gonna slide these things back, and they're gonna cook for 30 minutes, and then we will load them up with cheese.
Hey, you've got us loaded up with our cheese. Now we're going to let this go for about a half an hour until that's all nice and melted. And then we're going to pull it, and it'll be time to let them cool for a little bit. Well, here we have it. Stuffed smoked brisket peppers with cheese and some cilantro on top of this thing. The aromas are amazing, especially the peppers. Can't wait to dig into this. Hey, shoot me a message. Let me know what you think. Cooking with Wilson. That's without the G, because of a country like that. And Gmail, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. The recipe for this is in the description underneath the videos. It's also in volume 3 of the cookbook. Each one of my volumes, all the proceeds I receive go directly to charity. This time around, support smiletrain.org. Feel free to hit them up at that URL. The link's also below. And the link for the cookbooks are also below as well. And let me know what you think about the recipe. Remember this, One day, if you decide to wake up and change who you are, that's all right.